Hi there, my name is Logan Pollock, and I did my topic on kelp forests. Um, and the reason for this is because when I was about 12 years old, my family and I traveled down to Cozumel, Mexico. There, I was able to, of course, go in the ocean, get to see different, creatures, organisms, and enemies that lived in the ocean, and it really caught me off guard by how amazing it was, I guess. Ever since then, I kind of have been interested in the ocean and didn't know too much about kelp forests, so it kind of intrigued me to learn more about them. Um, what I've learned about kelp forests is that kelp forests, they are found everywhere along the equator. Reason being is they thrive extremely well in warm waters, but they're not just found along the equator. They are found in, parts around Antarctica and whatnot, and they are found, for example, in the Channel Islands. There is mixing of warm and cold water. So I mean, they can thrive in both, but from the from what I've learned, they do better in warm water. But when you get them in that cold and warm water mixing, there tends to be more diverse species that interact with each other. Um, so that brings me to my next topic on the food chain within kelp forests. The food chain in kelp forests are extremely delicate. They don't really, if they get disrupted, it can cause huge impacts to the rest of the ecosystem. For example, sea otters are a big top predator in kelp forests, of course, and they feed on sea urchins. So if the sea otters were to be removed, the sea urchins would be set free to feed on the kelp, which in theory would get out of hand, and eventually the kelp would be gone. um, but other than those kinds of impacts of being deforested in that way, we as well as humans are deforesting kelp forests in ways that isn't very beneficial. In California, one can remove up to 50% of a canopy from a kelp stock per day, and it doesn't seem like much, but the demand for kelp in California is up to 250 million. So I mean, if people start catching on and seeing there's money in this, more people go out there, the more kelp that's removed, the more impact it has. Um, in Norway, actually, the kelp forests are nurseries to cod, and because of the deforestation on the kelp over there, cod are actually put on the endangered species list over in the Norway region. Um, it's things like that that cause such impacts to not just the environment, but us as humans as well. So kelp is able to store up to 60 million tons of carbon, and carbon would and could cause ocean acidification levels to spike tremendously. It also could have impacts on the atmosphere and what it does to that as well. Um, and it's also been proven that kelp forests are more beneficial than rainforests. So I mean, we need to really make sure that we're saving the kelp forests and protecting them rather than just tearing them down. But that was my presentation. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you very much.